Mother, tell your children not to walk my way. Tell your children not to hear my words, what they mean, what they say.
Hello everybody, and as the title suggests, this is yet another video on the NWA tournament, Reclaiming the Glory, though I'm the only person on the internet that seems to care a rat's ass about this enough to make any videos or any comments. I haven't read anything about them at all, but I figured I would come on here and kind of, talk about it once again, because the finals are upon us. Yes, finally, after this long-ass tournament, the finals are upon us. And though most of you probably don't know, because, the NWA has done a horrible, horrible job promoting this tournament, overall, it just amazes me how bad they did this, because this was definitely a chance to get their name out there far more and to really, make an impression upon a lot of fans, particularly with the TV deal coming later this fall. Though not too many fans will get to see it, but it's still a TV deal, which is, pretty good in my opinion. But the finals will be Bryan Danielson, most of you know who he is, and Brent Albright, most of you know who he is as well. I think most people would agree that those two definitely, out of all of the guys that they could have picked, are probably deserving to be in that final, and it should be a very good match, very solid match, no question about it, in my opinion. And this should be good. This is definitely a match that maybe if it's done well and booked extremely well, and both guys bring their A games, which I wouldn't surprise me if they didn't, or if they did. It would surprise me if they didn't bring their A game, because I think they definitely think this is a way to make a name for themselves, and they both seem to be very aware of history when it comes to pro wrestling. So, I expect very good things from this match. So, here comes the question that I'm sure that everyone has on their mind. Well, how can I see this match? Are they going to have the match anywhere close to me? Can I go, because you figure the NWA is going to put on probably a super card of some sort, a very good card, to promote this and to really, maybe bring in a very large crowd to help promote this and really, give their new champion a very good send-off in front of, headlining the best card they could put on. Well, unless you live in Puerto Rico, you're not going to get to see the match live, and you're going to have to wait for the DVD to come out. Yep, that's right. The match is taking place in Puerto Rico, and it's not even taking place in an NWA ring. It's taking place in an IWA ring. If somebody out there can explain this to me, please do, because I don't get it. Why would you... Okay, why would you do this tournament, which is going to be on DVD, as you're getting ready to go on television, which you've completely, utterly failed to promote in any sort of way, and to where most, even the diehard wrestling fans don't even give a rat's ass about this tournament, and now you're not even going to put it in the United States, yet alone in one of the big markets for wrestling in the United States, which is where, you need to probably be promoting anyways, and what you do is you stick it in Puerto Rico. Why? I don't understand. This is just, oh, God, I really want the NWA to be good. I really do. I want them to be good. I want them to be successful. I want everything to go well for them. But how can you do that when they keep making these stupid decisions? I wish someone would explain to me in some way or form or fashion how this works. I just don't get it. I mean, IWA in Puerto Rico is a very good promotion. It's been around for a long time, and it's very well established. And they'll definitely get a huge crowd there, probably a bigger crowd than they can get in the United States, to watch that. I have to watch, the title match. I have no doubt about that, which will look good on the DVD. There's no question about that. However, here in Houston, they just had a show in which they drew 5,000 people about 4 months ago. I firmly believe that if they booked the show properly, they could probably pull in that number again, have it in the United States. They could either, in the same way that they booked that show, they could book it in probably San Diego or LA and do the same thing. And maybe, really just do a really good job of having a U.S. crowd there and having it in the U.S. When people see this DVD and they go, the finals of Puerto Rico, why are they having this in Puerto Rico? It would make more sense to me to have it in Japan than in Puerto Rico, to have it, on one of Inoki's shows than have it in Puerto Rico, to be completely honest. this just makes no sense to me, and again shows just a real failure on in my opinion, the NWA's part of really, trying to win over us, the internet fans. We're the ones they should be trying to win over, and they're not doing it, and I don't understand. This isn't like the WWE, who can ignore us and still do okay. Even though, I could debate that fact for a while and say that they shouldn't ignore us, but and this isn't like TNA, who should listen to us. I think most people would agree, but don't, figuring that, well, we're the minority, which I don't buy that either. Let's face it, for the NWA to be anything, they're going to have to win us over. They're going to have to win over the guys that, follow Ring of Honor, that follow Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, that follow IWA Mid-South, that follow, the Japanese organizations here in the United States. We're the guys they got to win over, and they're doing a lousy job of it. I think this match will be good. I've said before, I probably will get the DVD when it comes out, because there are some matches on there I'm curious to see, and I want to see how well they did. But, overall, I got to give this tournament a big fat F, because this, to me, it's not so much the wrestling that was important. It was the fact that this was a way to get fans excited about the NWA again, to sell the NWA, and they're doing a very bad job of doing it. So, I just have to say, I think this tournament was an utter failure on that front. Because you figure that, it's not surprising anybody that Bryan Danielson and Brent Albright are in the finals. When this was announced, most people said, well, we probably will get Brent Albright and Bryan Danielson in the finals, which I thought was odd as well, because why not put a tournament in there where there's at least some wow? I mean, look at all the guys, which I talked about as well, and the fact that I thought they did a very bad job of booking the tournament. As far as that is, I didn't think it was star-studded enough. But this is, I mean, they needed to really win us over, and to win us over, that would mean that you needed to have, particularly with the fact that you didn't have this tournament one night or even 2 nights back to back. You had this tournament spread over a long period of time. They definitely should have. I mean, I haven't heard one match of these which people would say is a must-see match. Really, of course, I don't think too many people have seen the matches, but I think that speaks volumes. That nobody's out there saying, "Man, you got to see this match. This match was awesome." And that's probably the NWA's fault as well, because they haven't promoted the shows well, and they haven't promoted the matches well at all. But the fact that, if they would have put on a more star-studded, a more well-known tournament, I firmly believe this, then people would have been excited about it. People would have followed it a little bit more if they had really good matches throughout the tournament. Let's say every match that they had for the tournament was a 4-star match. The way they had the tournament set up, that could have easily happened. And then you had still, that would be a must-buy DVD, and people are like, oh, wow, this is really good. You got to go buy this DVD. And that would help the NWA. Instead, they went this weird way of doing this, and I think it's been an utter failure, in my opinion. And then to cap it off with having your title being crowned, in my opinion, a place where it shouldn't be, which is an IWA show, is very confusing to me. And if anyone can come on here and explain that to me, I would love to know, because I really don't get it. And I'd love to get it, because I would love to come on here and say, oh, well, this is why, and this makes sense. But it doesn't make much sense to me at all. So, yeah. So, just so everybody knows, it looks like Brent Albright or Bryan Danielson. I would put my money on Bryan Danielson winning the tournament. It's September 1st, and I'll get into why I think how that will affect ROH's booking this weekend, because I do think it will. Later this week, but I just wanted to come on here and yet again update this tournament, which I have been following and seemingly be the only one to comment on the internet. So, anyways, again, this tournament just continually baffles my mind. But oh well, what you gonna do? Hope you all have a good rest of the week. I might do a question and answer show tomorrow. We'll see. Anyways, later. Bye.